Good evening, SpeedGaming 5, and welcome to the Link to the Past Randomizer Open League Playoffs. We've got a Game 2, or was this Game 2 or was this Game 1? I don't know anymore. But we got a second game between the Ed was supposed to carry us and pass the Picanha. My DM with Garrison piloting versus Fibonacci for Pass the Picanha with, I believe, James is the pilot for them.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, awesome. As we got Ed with a 1-0 lead here. I'm Radical Sniper 99, or Jesse, joined by Norsk Maddie with Furious Prince tracking. Hello, Maddie.
Hey, good evening, Jesse. Yeah, exciting pilot spoiler match, and this is game 2 indeed. This is game 2 played second in this case.
Okay, that's the part I always get a little bit mixed up on. Is it game 1 run second or game 2 run first? I don't know. But we are off with a divergent route. We get the Cape and Sanctuary and $20 in the Link's house. My DM going for that front of escape or Uncle check.
Yeah, the start of the seed is when the pilot just gets that that notification of the log. It starts looking at it while the runner is just, I'm gonna do some stuff until you figure out what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, we did see my DM carrying that sign up towards escape, and then I think Garrison must have told him, like, tier 1's garbage, don't worry about it, and very nice uncle item with the bow. And that is a mirror. Okay. And more divergence.
And we're done. Now, Fibonacci did get a bomb from a drop from one of the soldiers there, which is nice too.
Yeah, and that actually is info that's been added into spoiler logs recently. As part of the most recent spoiler tourney, as part of SGL, there was actually a change where that information of enemy prize packs was added.
Okay, so I haven't looked at the log or anything, but I'm going to guess
Neither have I.
that there's nothing in Kakariko we want immediately, because both runners have gone towards it and then quit the route and headed over here.
Yeah. Very quick. We want Saha, so
Yeah.
this could be boots or a flute, I'm assuming. Heart Potato's good. Flute, yup. And some more bombs. Okay, yep, makes perfect sense.
Yeah, that you see the flute over there, and you're like, okay, grab that before we go into Kakariko, at the very least.
But yeah, if you haven't seen this before, this is the spoiler pilot keys. Pilot spoiler, also known as. What happens is that Fibonacci and Maya DM were given the seed. They are going to be the runners. Meanwhile, right as the clock hit 0 to start this race, James and Garrison were both given access to the spoiler log. In that spoiler log, it tells you what's a crystal, what's a pendant, where the keys are, where the items are, all that kind of fun stuff. And, you know, the pilots have to help guide the runners, and the runners have to go as fast as they can. These first 15-ish minutes are going to be absolute chaos because the pilots do not have time to pre-plan the route. So they're just going to try to tell the runners what to do as quickly as possible.
Yeah, we can shout out the tracker, Furious Prince, who has taken a look at that spoiler log and added the crystal and pendant information for us in the tracker already. Information that the pilots have, and they can pass on to the runners. And we know that Pod, Skull Woods, and Ice Palace are the pendants, with Skull Woods being the green.
Yeah, so we need a lot of stuff for this seed, actually.
Yeah, I believe that means we need everything.
Pretty much.
That's normally required to beat a dungeon.
No getting away without a hook shot, no getting away without an ice rod. Most of this stuff you will find today.
Yeah, there are, times where maybe you don't need a mirror if Swamp Palace is one of the pendants, but yeah, in this case, we need everything. I saw my DM pick up go out of his way a little bit to pick up the Harris Mall off of Race Game. I don't know if that's a that's there, just grab it. I don't have time to check, or if there's going to be something in Hera basement.
Yeah, that's usually the case with a lot of these. Is like, I don't know yet, but I need you to grab it.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of keys that are kind of like that. If you like see the ice big key or skull big, and it's like, I don't want to take the time right now to search if that's important. Just grab it.
Yeah, and it looks like Fibonacci's going to grab it as well.
Yeah, so I'm starting to guess that there must be something in Hera basement that they're going to want.
Now you're seeing Maya and Dan get a couple extra pieces of heart here to start. And that's definitely one of those things, like, you know, you said about that Hera small, like maybe we don't need it, but we're going to rush it. Similar idea here with those pieces of heart. Like, you know, Garrison could easily say to Maya and Dan, just clear out the front of the well, don't get the back, but everything else is good.
Yeah, and I could tell you as a member of the Ed was supposed to carry us team, and someone who has been piloted by Garrison before, it's kind of a philosophy we have is to open up these extra chests, pick up those extra hearts and things like that, which might give us an extra heart or two in the end, which could be pretty valuable.
Yeah. Now that mushroom did lead to our hook shot, so very important as Fibonacci enters the mountain play. I mean, all this stuff for that Hera small key is now in logic. Like, we've got access to Hera, we've got access to Hera basement. I am surprised Maya and DM did not grab his mirror yet, but he is rushing his hook.
Yeah, and I mean, if there's something in Hera basement, and this is where Fibonacci is going, Maya and DM can't get there without the mirror, so he's going to have to go back and get it, if that's the case.
Yeah. I mean, it does give him some mobility. And, like, if there's a hammer on East F Mountain, he's fine.
Yeah, there might be.
Or he's just going to go right back. Okay.
There's probably not then.
Yep. Okay, so real quick, we did say that game one did go to Ed, or Team Ed. What was that? Co-op reference? And yes, I believe that was an absolutely gross co-op reference, if I remember right.
Yeah, well, yeah. Our finish time certainly suggests it.
Yeah, I saw those finish times. We're close to 2 hours for a co-op, and I'm like, ooh, that's an ugly reference.
Yeah, it didn't feel good to be in the middle of it.
But what I will point out is that this, of course, being game two, in terms of regular season performance for both of our teams here, they both had a 33-point regular season. Picanha was second in their division, while that was enough for Ed was supposed to carry us to get first place in their division. This, of course, is the second round of the playoffs. There are still 8 teams left in each conference. So what that does mean is that, you know, not only are both of these teams looking to win this series, but also the next series, because, you know, I'll call it the big prize, but one of the things our teams are looking for is the ability to get into the top 4 of the open playoffs to get a promotion spot. And I will say, like, from my personal vantage point, these are 2 teams that are very much in that conversation of teams that could get those spots.
There's a lot of good teams.
Yes, I will not deny that. But I will say both of these teams have been kind of, you know, powerhouses in the open league. And, you know, both of them are kind of looking for that ability to move up right now, putting in consistent, strong performances here in the open league. Fibonacci really heads up play here. He is going to get the bomb under the pot because he doesn't have any bombs.
Yeah, you know, I didn't realize that until you were pointing out. I was like, why is he climbing right now?
I will say, Fibonacci is a practiced NMG runner, pretty strong on that end. But did not go into the basement.
Yeah, I mean, either that Hera basic key wasn't important, or the thought is, okay, let's beat this, go down there, grab the item, and save and quit out of there. Maybe.
Which also raises the question, like, was it worth it to come in for this fight? Because I didn't see anything really in what's in Hera that makes it worthwhile to do this play immediately.
Right.
Like, maybe the Hera Big is available and just not think about it, but this is not a fun fight.
No.
This is worse equipment than NMG. Like, at least in NMG you have a boots. And, like, we didn't even have a good amount of magic on Fibonacci's side to deal with that, and that's just for the bug net.
Yeah,
okay.
I was gonna say, like, it's nice to have the cape, but yeah, Fibonacci didn't have enough magic to really utilize it. So
no, and I'm very curious what the goal was. Like, I'm guessing there's something in the basement. Yeah, okay, we're going back in, but I don't know. I'd kind of be of the favor of just saying, don't even go for it. Like, wait until you have a Master Sword or a Tempered Sword or the boots. Like, it's not even a 5/6 crystal.
Yeah,
Curious choice.
Something you could wait until the very end of the seed, and you know, you could say, like, well, it's a little bit faster if we just do it now and don't, you know, mirror portal outside of GT, walk back in. But Fibonacci did take a fall, so this did take a little bit extra time. So
exactly.
Let's see what Mayan Diem decides to do with this dungeon. And this is a decision that might be more runner-based than pilot-based, unlike a lot of them, because it really doesn't matter the route-wise if you do this now or later. But
and that's the thing. Like, there is a part of that where you can just say, hey, this allows me to kind of think.
Yeah, this is nice thinking time for the pilots. Like, you're gonna do this, it's gonna take some time.
Oh no.
Okay, so yeah, they also, I was gonna mention that they did also both rescue the old man when they didn't need to, and they didn't do that just to get the save and quit point.
Well, and in some ways, this kind of negates the advantage that we thought Mayan Diem might have picked up by that early bow. Fibonacci's going to get that here, and it's going to work out very nicely for him to be able to do that with whatever he's getting in Castle Tower.
Right, which may, go all the way to finishing it entirely.
Yeah, I mean, we've got 2 Castle Tower small keys.
Yeah, you can grab either item with just one. So
yeah, you're not. There's specifically a reason we're getting both.
Yeah, and it's got to be. We have to beat it because that's our Dark World access. There's no way around it.
Oh, and that's a really heads-up play from both of our runners. Mayan Diem getting some arrows in Mini Moldorm Cave and a Pod Small, I thought. But Fibonacci going with the tree pull and getting 20 arrows. So both gearing up for what is surely not a great Castle Tower here, but you feel a lot more comfortable with those arrows.
Yeah, I mean, I like having the hookshot for it, but just a fighter sword, it's still a little, it's still slow to kill everything. But the bow makes a little bit quicker work of a lot of the soldiers that will be along the path. But it looks like we've got something that we need to get here in front of Escape before we do the climb.
Although, for as important as that might be, Mayan Diem is not going into the basement yet. He's just going to go right into Aga Tower.
Yeah, well, now I'm very curious of what it is.
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay.
That is a curious find because we do need 3 of them.
At least. There's another one.
Like, that's not a fast check from Fibonacci, but I wonder what the other two are looking like, because if they're bad, that could be a massive advantage for Picanha here.
Yeah, I don't know if there's ever a good way to come back to here to get that. I mean, if you're going to get it, now would be the time to do it.
But Mind into the last of the dark rooms as Fibonacci does get his book there in the dark maze. But you're seeing how dangerous this is. You know, we're only at 3 hearts, or 3 hearts left for Fibonacci, 2.5 now, 2.5 for Maya and DM. And yeah, gonna hook that heart and hope. I'm kind of surprised we're not going with some fire rod strats here. On some of these cards. I know the burn animation's a little bit slow, but you've got an option that could make your life a little easier.
That's true, and those, you know, the red guards can get quite aggressive, and once they get up in your face, they can be a little bit difficult to get back out of your face.
You got shields, Fibonacci. You can block those spears. Come on.
It's so easy to forget you have the shield.
Especially in Pilot Spoiler, let's be real.
But yeah, you're like, when did I even get that?
But Maya DM is our first runner into the Aga fight. This has got to be... What is this going to be? Like a key on Pyramid or the Pearl itself? Like, I'm wondering if the book is leading to the Pearl in Desert, but we have to still do this because it is an Agaseed. Oh my gosh! Fibonacci, I was having a heart attack right there. Oh my god, that was... Whew, that was a scary near fall.
Clutch save there. to not
the
fall
clutch
there.
moment.
Alright, and it looks like we didn't use the fire rod because we don't actually have it. They didn't pick it up.
Okay, fair enough.
So that's a good enough reason to not use it.
Now, Fibonacci does still have to be pretty careful here. You know, getting hit by the Aga attacks will do some serious damage, so you're going to see Fibonacci probably give himself a little extra space from Aga. So, yeah, and especially with those blue balls, you do not want to risk, you know, the recoils or anything kind of hitting you.
No, they're death to Agadim is very punishing. It doesn't happen very often, but it's very punishing.
So if there was something... Okay, do we need boots? Is this what it is that we need the boots to get something off of the lumberjack?
Maybe it's a lumberjack.
Or maybe it was the book to get Pearl in Desert to then do... then be in Dark World. Like, this is probably just still an Agaseed, but Pearl's here in Desert. And there's one of the side effects of not having a Pearl in this mode, or after doing an Aga kill. Not just this mode, but after Aga kill, no Pearl, means you don't get a health refill.
And
Oh, Moon Pearl.
There's Moon Pearl right there in Desert.
And yeah, Fibonacci really having to be careful here. So and hey, there's our second sword in the big chest, and it looks like Maya and DM's just gonna bail for now, continuing this not kill a boss, but let me get the stuff out of the dungeon I need.
Yeah, so that's both items. So we know that there's nothing on the boss there, and
Well, It's key sanity.
Oh, never mind. You're right. I'm gonna guess there's something on the boss though. Anyway, because
yeah, I would say like he's just gonna wait until mitts and backdoor it.
Yeah, you know, maybe. You
no, I think you're completely right there. There's definitely some time save available with a better weapon later.
When you do because Meyer's a crystal as well, so
yeah. I mean, if we had that fire rod we thought we had, then I would be like, go for it.
It's a little bit, yeah.
But no, with this kind of equipment, like, we're doing only slightly better NMG Landmo, and nobody likes that fight.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Fibonacci is used to it enough that it is fast enough for him, but yeah, I still think that it's better to wait.
But yeah, we're heading straight into pods, so that pod small that we got, those 2 pod smalls, or those, you know, that 1 pod small we've got on for each of our runners, like, it does have some value here in the early game. And it does look like Fibonacci's going after Landmo.
Okay.
So, like, Pass the Picanha is going to have a 2 crystal lead here very quickly. The question is really, you know, is these slower versions of boss fights, or is Mayandim going to be able to capitalize on that when he gets to fight the boss later?
Yeah.
And that is the Titan's Mitts in pod.
Yeah, that would appear to be the reason why we grabbed that pod small. Just to grab those mitts and we're leaving.
Pendant pod, ha ha ha, I don't know. And we're going right back into the Meyer area.
Just gonna go kill Lambo now.
I hope not, but I've seen weirder things. Maybe there's some kind of prize here in the shed. Yeah. A sword, a fire rod, an ice rod, silvers. Any of these would be more than worth the time. A map is not. Boots.
There we go.
Okay. Boots have a lot of value.
All right, so we did all of this to get the boots. Now, what are we going to do for the rest of the season?
And my idea is still like, no, we're not killing Landmo.
Still not, no. We're right here. We're at the doorstep. No.
Nice 4-cycle Landmo, though.
Okay, so it is something you're going to have to do before you go to Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
That Lambo kill.
Question is, where is the Meyer big? And, you know, are you going to be able to just pair Meyer and Desert later?
I have to feel that Mayandim and Garrison are confident that they can because they skipped on twice. So
yeah, and at this point, I would assume that Garrison's roughly got his route figured out for the most part. And there's Bombos. Have to be a little careful here, down to a heart and a half.
Oh,
and that's why, oh man. I think we have a fairy in a bottle.
Yeah, we do. Not where you want to use it, but it's better than taking the death there. Because actually getting back to here without the hammer is not super easy.
Yeah, Myth's Dark World access is not ideal for Hype Cave access. So what do we got in Hype Cave? A small key to High Roll. Oh, really? Come on.
I don't think.
There's the hammer. And a blue cane. And half magic. Nice safety cave. No runner is going to turn up that half magic. And honestly, the blue cane is I don't know. I wouldn't say it's massively important. It's a good find.
It's nice. It's probably worth just getting there, but with the cape already in hand too, we're probably not going to see a lot of use.
Yeah, cape just has a little bit more utility generally because of the ability to still do spins with it.
That and blue cane can cause additional lag in this particular version of the ROM still, so...
Yeah, we're nearing the end of the quote-unquote slow ROM era, but still got some time before then. There's also our Eastern Big Key on Bombo's tablet. And we're heading back to the mountain already without a lot of the tools we'd expect for TR. So, like, I can't imagine we're getting an early TR play. The question is, are we actually able to single dip TR or this Dark Death Mountain even?
Yeah, I mean, in Mind Demon's case, he only has the one Turtle Rock Small. He doesn't have the big key. He doesn't have the other small key that Fibonacci got. So, yeah, I don't think completing TR is on the table here. Let's see if this is just something necessary in you know, Super Bunny or Hookshot Cave that's going to lead to you know, eventual Turtle Rock clearance items.
Big Key to Thieves, another heart piece, giving Maya Diem a full heart container. Like, you know, there's his 7th heart. He's got 2 more hearts right now than Fibonacci. Also, Fibonacci not going for the hammer yet. He's actually rushing the mountain.
Interesting. Well, my name is heading over back to where Hera is. It's also where...
Is this a double tablet seed? Plus needing the book for desert? Like, we need the book for everything?
Yeah, because you need that book for that Moon Pearl. And yeah, this is
So,
everything the book opens was necessary.
Book for Pearl, book for Eastern Big, and book for Samaria. Thank you, game.
One of the most important books you'll ever see, I think. This was sponsored by your local library. Please read, everyone.
And unfortunately, like, that's one of those plays that I'm seeing now on Fibonacci's side and going, kind of unfortunate that we're not going to get the King of Samaria right there. Like, at the same time, I'm also wondering, you know, Maya Diem going into Dark World previously here, not being able to beat Thieves Town first trip.
Yeah, it's hard to say which one I like more, honestly. Well, I mean, getting the, well, not getting that Cane of Samaria, I feel like you could do it without the hammer, so I think that they should have done that. But the question between getting the hammer or getting that Thieves Big and coming here, you know, obviously there must not be anything in the Thieves Big chest, so...
Well, like, I guess this partly comes down to where is the Meyer Big Key? If the Meyer Big Key is in Turtle Rock, then I don't think this hurts Fibonacci at all. If it's somewhere not on the mountain, then I feel like this is a better route on Ed was supposed to carry us.
Yeah, I mean, it still might be up for debate, you know, until we figure out the full item location list here. It's a nice use by Fibonacci of the cape there to just get through that room. Another thing that's, you know, you can always do, but easy to forget you can do it when you are going through that room.
Yep. But we are already to the Armos fight for Maya Diem. This will be his first crystal. And there's our Ice Rod in the Thieves Town attic. So... Gomo's starting to come together.
Yeah, now we're just missing flippers and is that it?
Okay, and chat confirming we might have just missed it. It looks like that might have been on Bottle Vendor.
Okay.
For the Meyer Big, so I'm not... and there was those flippers you were talking about. It's possible our runners already have it. Did Fibonacci pick it up already? Fibonacci's personal tracker does not show him having the Meyer Big. Apparently Maya Diem's does? Yeah, Maya Diem's tracker shows he has it.
Okay. We do need more than flippers. We need, you know, a couple keys, I think, to finish this. Well, maybe just the Turtle Rock Malls?
And we're still too short on Ed's side. Also, no GT Dig yet.
Yeah.
Now, what I will say is, while we have been in CAC a couple of times, one of the things that's really important about why they might not have gotten that key the first trip into CAC was we just didn't have money. Pretty stingy start. The big pickup was like that 300 on Spec Rock.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised then that okay, Fibonacci's getting it now. I'm a little surprised that he didn't grab this on the way to the portal when he fluted over here, but that's fine.
And unfortunately, like, unless... See, I'm trying to think of what could make me not wish that we got the Samaria earlier now. Because what this is more so telling me is, like, I think you should have gotten Samaria that previous trip up the mountain.
Yes, because now...
Because at this point... Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, now Maya Diem can finish Meyer and get that Turtle Rock key at the same time while he finishes Desert.
Yeah, like, Eastern's good, Desert's good, Hera's good, Swamp's okay, Thieves is good, Meyer's fine, it's the TR Smalls is the only question mark. So, like, all 7 crystals are within reach. I will say, I think I like Fibonacci's route a little better for getting the hammer here. Like, I think Picanha did a little bit better getting their hammer later, because they'll be able to do Swamp with getting the hammer. So, like, Fibonacci's only taking 1 trip down here.
Yeah, and that's the third, that was actually the third Turtle Rock Small that Picanha got there at K45, which it looks like I did skip the first time through.
Ooh, yeah, so he still needs 2 keys, and, like, Fibonacci's set.
So maybe he's planning on getting it, like, on the way down to Swamp Palace, but it's still, like, it has still have to run back down that way to do it. And then, you know, another question is, okay, you get that one out of K45, but where's the other one? Where's that coming from right now?
I will say, looking at the 4 smalls, they're not bad. Oddly enough, all 4 are actually pretty decent locations. This could be a skip the pokey seed.
Oh, interesting. Well,
honestly, what I'll say, Karma, is I actually would not grab the Hyrule Castle small key at this point if I am on Ed was supposed to carry us.
I'm just wondering as a thought experiment. Is it faster to go and grab that small out of the boomerang chest, or is it faster to just get the pokey key?
Well, apparently the big key chest... Ooh, actually, I have not seen that big key chest in TR. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'm coming to a conundrum personally on this one. Because Maya Diem is actually going to be in pretty good shape here with this Meyer play. See him pulling out the cape. There is something here in Spike chest that he's going to want. And that is his tempered sword, so... Lava Island, Maddie, is the 4th sword.
Interesting.
Right.
I don't know if that's worth it too much, though. And I imagine...
And, like, there's key 4 for Fibonacci, and, like, knowing his ability with NMG, I would say I don't expect Fibonacci to want that sword. Or need it. Like, I see for him, like, that's a skip Pokey Key, run straight to Trinex.
Yeah, for me, considering how much time it took to get that small key out of the Hyrule Castle, and then the time that it will take to go get the lava chest, I can't imagine myself not wanting the gold sword in this case.
Yeah, it just feels way out of the way to kill that Pokey and get the key then. Like, I think you use, like, if you feel comfortable, you skip it. But I can't say for sure. I'll be curious how they handle this.
Yeah, I mean, they might be just getting these 4 and skipping the Poke Key and, you know, just being done with it that way.
Down goes Vitreous, though, for Maya Diem, and meanwhile, Fibonacci takes down Argus. So that is another crystal for both of our runners. That's going to be the 3rd crystal for Ed and the 3rd crystal for Picanha.
That's actually their 4th, because they should have Desert marked as complete as well.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. So actually, Picanha is up a crystal right now. 4-3 on the crystals. I will say the 4th crystal for Ed is going to be pretty quick with the desert play, whereas even the 2 crystals that Picanha has that Ed doesn't in Desert and Hera are very quick plays, and I like the way that Maya Diem has set himself up for these 2. He definitely has a lot better equipment than what Fibonacci came in with.
Yeah, Fibonacci has to go back up to what's that? Ether Tablet at the top of the mountain to get the Canis Marius too. So,
like, there's definitely little advantages gained by both teams here. I think the Picanha route for the keys for TR has been a little stronger, but I will say the equipment routing from Ed's probably been stronger. And I am curious which one's going to pay out a little better here in the end.
Yeah, I did. Unless I missed it, my name is going to have to go back to K45 to get that Turok Small as part of the swap play.
Yeah, we're also, chat's also talking about the silvers being in the Ice Palace big key chest. It's Icebreaker, which is very quick, but I do agree that if we were going to get them, I would have done it before Vidi, before Armos. Like, at this point, it's not worth it. You would have had to have done it early. And even then, it's a slow piece to get, I think. I don't see either of our runners would have gotten it ever.
Yeah, I think if you're in a situation where you only have Master Sword and the other 2 swords are worse, maybe you'll pick that up. But I agree with Zapical. If you're going to do it, you would have already done it, I think. Like,
Yeah.
Because you are just, wasting the advantage if you're beating all these bosses without it.
That's Crystal 5 for Fibonacci. Meanwhile, Bindium is in Crystal 5 for himself in Swamp Palace after having taken care of Desert. And here comes that reclimb of the mountain on Fibonacci's side for Samaria.
Yeah, so this is definitely too close to call for me right now. Like, this is very close.
Maddie, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling fine. You know what? I've taken a bunch of relaxation pills. I'm fine.
Yeah, Maddie here is, of course, the third member of Ed Was Supposed to Carry Us. And we have seen the third member of Pass the Picanha, Tepidino, over in chat as well. So, everybody is part of this one watching and on the edge of their seats trying to see what happens here as Picanha is trying to force a game 3.
Yeah, Tepidino probably feels as great as I do right at this moment.
So yeah, it looks like Bindium is going to be our first runner back onto the mountain after this swamp play, but he's going to have to still go to that K45 from here for that small key. Oh, a little unfortunate fall there. But luckily we have so much magic, should still be able to get the one cycle here. Yep. So there is Crystal 5 for Bindium. As we get the Tempered Sword on Fibonacci's side. Okay, so for Bindium, this will be probably K45 next. Fibonacci's got a pretty straightforward route here. Yeah, unfortunately, skipping the TR small on Bindium's side really wasn't great. Probably would have also helped him save his fairy.
Yeah.
Getting those hearts out of K45.
Yeah, this is, a little bit of time back, and while it did take Fibonacci some extra time to go get that 4th TR small, he is going to have a faster route through TR, not having to go pick up the Pokey Key, so...
Yeah.
Even though Bindium is going to get to Turtle Rock first, Fibonacci is going to make up time just by that alone, so... Like I said, it's very close.
Realistically, the amount of time that Bindium should have, ideally entering TR, is about a minute. Because he still has Hera, and that's about a minute.
Right.
Like, it's a quick dungeon. Like, you can Hera pot up there and be done, as I said, in a minute. That is how quick that dungeon is. But that's still time.
Right.
And I don't know if he has that.
I'm also assuming at this point that the GT Big is either in Turtle Rock itself or it's in GT.
Yeah, Turtle Rock or GT is going to have that GT Big at this moment, unless I can't see it being anything else.
They would have gotten it already. Would be my thought there.
And unfortunately, Fibonacci only had 2 arrows right now.
Yeah, the cape's going to make it so he's not in any danger, but as you can see, even with a Tempered Sword, it takes a few swipes to get Vitreous to go down. And then cruelly receiving arrows as the prize for beating Vitreous.
Okay, so Bindium walking in the door of TR at 4408, 4409. So we'll see where that puts Fibonacci. I will say on a broad scale, I would say Fibonacci's probably a little bit stronger of an executor than Maya and Diem, but this is going to be a close one. They're both doing really well on this seed. Oh, the Chomps almost behaved.
Yeah, that's a place for the cape. That little room there.
You're always like, I hope they're gonna be nice, and then this time they just weren't.
They were not. Yeah.
You know, I said a minute, but I am realizing this small key here for Maya and Diem is going to be the other little time loss.
Yes.
So he's got more than a minute coming in, but yeah, we said 44:08, 44:09, so we're over a minute. Looking to be between a minute and a half, 2 minutes. A minute 40, it looks like, between our two teams entering TR. That should be okay for the Terra, but that could put us roughly even, combining that with the Pokey key.
With the fact that my name's going to have to do hair after this, yeah.
Yeah. Pokey plus Hera, probably nearing that minute 40. I think it still means my Indium's going to have a slight advantage, and that's the kind of stuff that helps Fibonacci here. Chomp's RNG giving him a better pattern, allowing him to key dash. And we pretty much go-moded this whole dungeon, but we need something on Laser Bridge. Gonna guess this is gonna be our GT Big. And yep, there it is. There's our GT Big. We will need to, of course, grab a small key in GT, but nice.
I'd have questions if that was like the Pod Big, so, you know, I'm happy to see that with the GT Big.
Yes, I mean, if that was the case, I would have been up here a lot sooner.
Yes.
And yeah, Fibonacci's just torn through this TR. Like, I would say my Indium's not even had a bad TR. It's just Fibonacci's on a tear. This is where his experience really shows. This is one of those dungeons that when you really start to get good at it, the time starts melting away.
Yeah, and this is kind of where we're at the point where the pilots don't have too much left to do other than watch. This is all down to the runners now. They know where everything is. They know what they need to do. Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no!
Now he might still have the ferry. Yeah, he does. Okay, so he's okay. Yeah, well, just be happy that he did not get the crash there. If you get hit by the laser on the exact frame that you're taking the death there, it can crash the game.
Yeah, and we actually did see that during the regular season one of the races in the Invitational League.
Yeah, it's not good.
No, that happened between Team Hime and Pugs, actually, with, what was that, 2C versus Andy.
Yeah, and at this point in the race, that would have just been the end of it. He hasn't saved in a while. It's just
it would
have been an incredible shame.
We've had Flute and Mirror forever.
Yeah. And that's not like, as someone who would have benefited from it, I wouldn't have wanted to see it. Like, that's a terrible way for anything to go down. So I'm glad that didn't happen.
Yeah, agreed. I will say I thought Fibonacci might have actually gotten into GT first, but with that death, I think this is still going to be a good little lead for my Diem in the climb. And we've got confirmed boss explosions.
They're gonna get their crystals at roughly the same time here, but my team will just be able to hop into the mirror portal outside and get in, and Fibonacci needs to run over. So yeah, but it's still like, oof, it's close.
Okay, so my DM heading down. He's entering his portal, and he'll be into the cutscene immediately.
A very nice place to be here. You know, didn't have to move. The cutscene just started the moment he was there.
Okay, into GT 5003. Of course, my DM remembering I need a key. And 5014, so 11 seconds entering GT, folks.
Both of them remembering that extremely crucial key out there. They did not get a GT small at any point along the way here, so whoever climbed up there would have been in some real trouble.
Both having good regular arrow counts here entering the climb, so the Mimic Room is not going to be a problem.
All right, now, question for you, Jesse.
Yep.
If you were the runner in the situation, would you want to know how close it is going into the climb?
I'm the kind of person who likes to know these things. Like, I don't need to know maybe room for room, but I do usually roll, I don't mind my pilot telling me.
Mm-hmm. Do you play a little bit differently, knowing how close it is? Like, if your pilot tells you you're like a couple of minutes ahead, you can be a little bit more careful. Do you be more aggressive in this situation?
See, the hard part is that I know both of these runners well enough to say that I think if Fibonacci has a decent climb, I don't think he has to press, personally. Like, not that my NDM is any bit of a slouch on his execution, but like, just knowing roughly where the two of them are in ability, I would say if I was Fibonacci, I'd be like, just play your game, do what you've done, hundreds of times. For my NDM, I'd probably just tell him, I don't know what kind of person he is in terms of wanting to know that, but in a similar thought, like, I wouldn't want, to throw somebody off their game. If there's somebody who likes to know that stuff, good, I'll tell you. But if not, you don't stress it.
Yeah. I think for me, knowing that it's close would be enough. I wouldn't want to know exact, but, if you want to know, like, okay, I can't just take this super careful and everything, like, do what you would normally do.
And there you go. Like, unfortunately, that extra Landmo cycle on my NDM side really costing the lead. Had a little bit of an advantage heading into land mode too, but there's kind of your shift. That and a little bit cleaner of a gauntlet. Like, that's all it takes at times.
Yeah, I mean, it was 11 seconds, I think, coming in apart. Like, that's
yeah, 11 seconds entering GT was the difference.
The climb has the opportunity to make that time up.
Yep.
For sure.
My NDM's going to be able to skip the full magic here in right before heading up to Torches 2. Going to claw back a little bit because of that. Now, of course, both of our runners will need this Helma key. I think. Yes. Okay.
I thought for a second Fibonacci was going to leave it, but he was just setting himself in position.
I was gonna say, that's one of those keys that you sometimes have a plan for how to get it as quickly as possible, and when you do, it really does show. Nice Moldworm kill from both of our runners. No Moldworm shenanigans here tonight. Both runners getting the pieces of heart, neither getting the refill.
It's, that could be something where your pilot says, well, pick it up, maybe it'll give you a refill, but...
I was going to say, we're both on red mail. 5.5 hearts right now for my NDM. 5 hearts for Fibonacci, so you're not in Oko territory for Ganon. Not that it's super comfy.
No, and both of them, you know, they had the one bottle that had a fairy. They used those fairies. And I don't think they picked up any additional safeties anywhere, so this is all they got.
It's going to look to be about a 4 cycle for both runners. Nobody gaining time. Mind I think, had a little slightly faster of a 4 cycle there on Aga 2, so a little bit of time gain, but still trailing a little bit heading into Ganon.
He has like 4 seconds difference dropping into Ganon here.
Fibonacci getting his 1-1. Unfortunately, Mind not getting it. Going to be set up very nicely for his phase 2. But Fibonacci does get that 1-1, so that is going to be a little bit of a time gain. And we have a very warpy pig.
Yes.
Okay, last hit for phase 3 for Fibonacci coming up. As soon as the pig stops warping. Oh my gosh, please stop.
Any day now. Okay, there he goes.
Okay, going for that first spin. Good first spin. Gonna go for Torch Glitch. Gets it. Cool. My DM also setting up for his initial spin at the start of phase 4. Oh, he gets blue Ganoned, unfortunately. Does get his Torch Glitch. Fibonacci down to a half a heart, though. But very nice triples here for Fibonacci. Mind you, I'm also having a solid Ganon fight. But there is the exploding pig over on Fibonacci's side. It looks like, folks, we will be seeing a game 3 in this series. As we get an exploding pig on Mind DM's side, he is going to get fanfare sniped, though.
Yeah, GG. Fibonacci finishing, I think it was 57-33?
57-29 on Fibonacci's side. My MDM right behind, finishing with a 57-43. Just 14 seconds separating our two runners in what is an amazing race here. Yeah.
All right, let's see if we can get our runners and our pilots to join us here in the booth and talk about this for a bit.
Yeah, I see Fibonacci and James down in the waiting room. Mindy, I'm sure got his invite and should be forwarding it to Garrison so he can also join us. as we are joined by James FNX and Fibonacci, as well as Mayan DM and Garrison. Hello, GG's, guys.
Oh,
Hey, good game.
GG's.
GG's. Well, we got you guys the bug net, that's for sure.
That was a close race.
I'm shaking right now, and I didn't have to play any of it, so.
Well, you guys probably saw I got a little squirrely there at the start of phase 4 on Ganon.
I got a little squirrely at the start of phase 1 on Ganon.
Oh no.
It was close enough that with like the delays in stream times and stuff that like even just watching the Ganons, I couldn't. I was just like, okay, let's just see who actually crosses the line first. There's nothing left for me to say to help that out. It just like the one thing that I saw was PH your GT climb was pretty clean. There was a lot of really good rooms there that made it very tough for us.
Yeah, thank you. So like that's actually something that I do NMG as does my NDM, but that was like a month ago. I basically did like 100 GT climbs. I would do 5 a day, because that was like where I was losing a bunch of time in my runs. So it definitely is something that I felt like I would hopefully do well. But I mean, like I was saying before the race, it's like if there's one person that I trust to perform well in big moments, it's my NDM. So I was very nervous this whole time.
I know we were like 11 seconds ahead going into GT, and I'm just like, that's nothing. That 11 seconds is nothing. This could go either way, and I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah, you said that, and at that point I was like, well, alright, I have to hope he screws up the climb, because I'm going to play my normal climb, and that's not going to be fast enough if I've only got 11 seconds. So, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah,
It sounded like it was super close.
Yeah,
Obviously the times were.
I gave PH a check-in when you guys hit open GT, and I gave him a check-in when you started Gauntlet, and then I just let him shut up and let him drive.
Yeah, I think the two big moments in the GT or the end game there, one extra cycle on Land Mode 2 for my NDM and the 1-in-1 for Ganon were pretty much the two like big time shifts. The other stuff definitely looks a little more minor in the grand scheme.
Well, I was a little nervous only because there were so many warps, and if you don't get the 1-in-1, there's like it could have been like 0 warps, and it would have actually been fast. So you never know.
I don't think that's true.
It's not true.
With warps?
No,
yeah,
you
stay the same.
You might have one extra or one less warp to even out where Ganon ends up at, but otherwise it's the same.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot more Ganon's a lot more streamlined than you think. There's not a lot of ways to actually mess up the pattern, and even if you like drop down and die, I don't think like dying right off the bat even changes the pattern. I think the only thing that changes the pattern is Ganon actually going through the warp progression, and it moves it along a chain. That's my understanding of it. I could be wrong.
Okay.
I was way more concerned about Moldorm RNG with how close you two were.
Well, because I dropped on the Inhera. That wasn't great.
Yeah, I did want to kind of bring up the, as close as this end game was, I do want to kind of bring up some of the early stuff as well.
Yeah.
In terms of the difference in routes, I will say, for Picanha, you guys getting the early TR smalls, that Hyrule Castle small key, or the one in Hyrule Castle, as well as the K45 key early, and then kind of just saving all of South Dark World for one combined trip. I will say, for Ed, you guys getting the Samaria on that trip up to Dark Death Mountain, I thought was a really strong idea there. It seemed to help. So, like, a couple of little things on both sides that, time shifts in both directions.
I knew after the fact that not getting Samaria on the trip up to get Thief Town Big was a mistake. And as for killing Moldorm and killing Landmo early, I think in retrospect, it was probably better to just double dip those dungeons to just kill the bosses a little bit faster. Maybe there's a case for it's just fine to kill Moldorm on the trip, but that fight is so bad, and I'm sorry I put PH through it.
Yeah, well, that was totally my fault, though. But I
oh
think
wait, that
guys-
wasn't Fibonacci saying, "Let me show off my NMG Landmo skills."
No boots.
I demand to kill.
I was saying, I was like, I would take that in a run. I was super happy with that fight.
Yeah, it was a good 4 cycle. Like, yeah.
But so James actually even called out as we were grabbing it. I was like, he was like, okay, get everything here, kill the boss. And then I'm like, okay, do we need to kill the boss? And he goes, actually, no. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. And in retrospect, it was almost certainly slower, and that was 100% my fault.
Yeah, because the both rods were in really bad locations to try and get them before that first trip to desert. Everything else on the route I felt really good about. Just missing Samaria on that trip is the only thing that that really stung, because it meant an extra mountain climb.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know like how much time was lost or saved on the 4th TR small in, was that Boom Chest?
Yeah, that was Boomerang Chest.
So like I wonder if that was worth the extra time.
So I knew there was a sword there, and I hadn't really dug out how many safeties and how much I was able to get PH. So I wasn't sure yet if that sword was going to be needed or not.
Okay.
So I figured just grab it. It's 30 seconds. It's 40. We have a mirror, so it's not like you're having a death warp back out. We'll just grab it. That'll make all the other TR smalls are super accessible as well.
Fair.
I think the other thing too is it's additional time buffered in for the pilot to figure things out, especially early.
Yeah.
And that's always the hard part.
have-
Like I saw that with the I thought that maybe with the Hera or the desert kills.
Yeah, I mean, the pilots have the harder job. You guys absolutely, in my opinion, have the much more difficult task here. It's not even close.
That time definitely would have helped, like trying to figure out things like how do we get bombs for the, for the flute and Saha's closet, stuff like that. Like, but
I was able to tell PH very early that guards were in the bomb tree or the bomb pack. So, and then when I looking at and then the next point I looked at the flute, I'm like flutes and Saha's closet. We're not even gonna go to Kakariko. We're just go get that flute and then go to Kakariko.
Yeah, that worked out pretty well. And then it was kind of funny because we were kind of like, I'm sort of thinking, where are bombs? And then at one point it's like, hey, what's the stun prize? What are the like? He's kind of going through. And then I forget exactly why I did it, but I stunned an enemy thinking I was going to get a heart and dropped a bomb. I was like, what?
Yeah, I'd flip the bush crab stuff and the stun prizes in my mind.
But that was kind of nice getting and then getting the arrows off. That was like, in my opinion, actually really, really, really big for CT. There was the arrows being tier 2. That probably saves like a reasonable amount of time if you grab it. So I was super happy with that because Fighter Sword Castle Tower, no boots sucks.
I will say both of you got arrows before that CT climb. So like at the right spots. My DM got them in Mini Moldorm, I think.
Yep.
Nice.
There was 2 sets of 10 arrows in Mini Moldorm.
Yeah,
that's actually probably a big reason why our collection rate is so much higher. It was because we just cleaned up the 5 in Mini Moldorm. I think it was 3 bombs, $20, and 20 arrows.
Yeah, we ended up grabbing 3 of them because Peach was low on arrows and bombs at that point, but we didn't grab the whole cave. That's the other mistake, is not sending PH there before the castle. But that's minor. Like, you can do that, but you still have to go get the pearl out of desert. It's not like you can just go straight from Castle Tower to get the mitts.
Yeah, that whole thing with the doing Aga climb to get book in there to then go get your pearl, that was weird.
Yeah, it was great watching Fibonacci on 1 heart in a post-Aga world going, I'm not getting a health refill.
I told him
Yeah.
that before he even started the climb. I'm like, or before he went in the Agafen, like, you're not getting a health refill. We need to go to desert next.
Yeah. Like, don't. It's like, don't screw up.
Yeah, I will say on the bomb front, I did like the Hera climb, quote unquote.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the little chip there, and that's another. I think that's another example of where though, that's like a little hidden time cost that we onboarded. That if we had waited to finish Hera before going into GT, we would have been able to avoid. So it's like one of those sneaky little things that, it's hard in pilot spoiler because you don't really realize it in the moment, and then after the fact you go, yeah, I mean, especially in a race this close, that potentially would have been, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds. Like that obviously that matters in these kinds of things. So
Yeah.
I think that doing that late was smart, but on the whole, I was James always takes very good care of me, makes sure that I'm not doing too much nasty stuff, and that's all I can ask. So
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that it was both well piloted and well run by everyone today. So it was a very fun race to watch.
I think my favorite part of this was in Kakariko. Just grab the mushroom. I haven't looked at it yet. And just go grab that maze race key. It's Hera Basement. I haven't really looked at it yet. And I go scroll up and both of them are required. I'm like, yeah, we're good. It's gonna be a good day.
I think my favorite part of the race was when I tuned into the race at about 35 minutes in when I had everything figured out. I'm like, nobody has the same dungeons done. What is going on here?
that's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. I would recommend watching this one back if you have the chance. This was a great race on both sides. Of course, what we will have to talk about is the fact that we do have a game 3 that needs to happen now. I think we know the runners for that race. Do we have a mode?
You should have a mode, right?
GFE's favorite.
That does mean it sounds like we are getting the co-op Randomizer in the decisive game 3. I believe that's going to be Diem and Maddie for Ed, and who is for Picanha? Is that Fibonacci and
It's me and
Tepidino?
Tepidino. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna grab a sip and watch that one.
I'm not going to play. I'm actually going to be subbing in GFE. We have like an agreement, so I'm going to go do strength. I'm just going to hop over here.
Are you gonna play for underachievers then?
Mid-season
Yes.
traits. Okay.
I mean,
I didn't know we could
it's got to
trade.
work out because Ed is supposed to carry us, and now that he's been knocked out of Invitational League, he's a free agent, and so he actually can come carry us. It'll be fine.
How funny! Like, everyone just swap? Yeah, no. If everyone gets one trade, we all just like swap in a whole bunch of new runners and just boom, let's do it.
But the thing is, he's going to play it by himself, so he's got a little,
True. That's true. Yeah, I just also, as always, thank you, Jesse and Maddie, really appreciate it, and then Furious Prince for tracking. I cannot wait to watch this back, but also just putting this on. I know it's a lot of time investment, so we really appreciate it.
What? Pilot spoilers, not a lot of time investment. Who are you kidding? This is the easy one.
I mean, relatively speaking, sure.
We
but
almost
still.
waited longer for the seed to roll.
No comment.
That was an adventure.
I'm sure some people are going to hear about this later, but fun times. In terms of league stuff, I think you guys were the last race tonight, actually.
Pretty sure.
Yep.
But that does not mean league stuff is done. We do have a race tomorrow, 4:10 p.m. Eastern Time. Channel undecided, but we got pretty much most of a crew to go between the Washed and Potato Pouch. Gem and Act the Boker versus Tam and Brogor is going to happen tomorrow. That was supposed to be today, but got pushed back a day. It's going to be in all dungeons. So should be an awesome race. And then in the Open League tomorrow, we do have that runner you guys were talking about, that GFE guy. He's got a race tomorrow. That is game 3 between Underachievers and Where's My Meme Item, GFE and Sabotender versus Amerith and Zeruvian. That does not yet have a channel. I do see some people signed up to commentate. Actually, not just some people. The third member of both those teams, P-Train and Pichu, are currently signed up to commentate, which should be a great game 3 between those two teams. So, plenty of racing tomorrow, or 2 great races tomorrow. Not plenty, but still great races. Anything else from our runners and pilots tonight?
Just GG's. My NDM Garrison, thank you both so much for the race, and I'm looking forward. My favorite thing about League is it's great to play everyone, but especially playing people that you really like, really respect. I mean, Ed was supposed to carry us. Is a team of people that I love watching. I love racing. So thank you guys. Looking forward to Game 3.
Yeah, GG's. I'm especially looking forward to Game 3 because I'm not playing in it. But yeah, I mean, not only is it a lot of fun
trying to dodge playing games all season.
It's my favorite thing to do. Not only is it a lot of fun playing in League in the games themselves, but even the practice leading up to it, that's part of the best part of it too, because we've just been hammering away at Pilot Spoiler the past couple weeks, and it's a lot of fun.
I love it when I'm not like stepping in my own way and trying to be too perfect in routing. But yeah, I love this. GG's to you guys. Thanks for the commentary. It's my birthday in 5 hours. I'm gonna go enjoy it.
Yeah, man. Happy birthday,
dude.
Yeah, happy birthday, James.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, James.
So I guess that's going to do it. Maddie, you want to close us out for tonight?
Sure, yeah. Thanks again to Furious Prince for tracking. Thanks to Mayan DM and Fibonacci for letting us put this on, and Garrison and James for being the pilots for them. And thank you to Jesse for joining me here in the booth. It was a fun one to come, even if the result wasn't quite what I was hoping for, but it's fine.
Yep.
Game 3 will be fun, and it's the only shame I think is that one of our two teams has to not play any more League after this. So
Agreed.
That's the way it goes. So
Forever,
yeah, we're done. You're actually exiled from Rando if you lose. The stakes are a lot higher than you thought.
Excommunication.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. But thank you everyone for watching and everything, and I hope you all have a great night and see you next time.